Hi everybody, it's Andrew Hutchings again. Still not a doctor, still never giving medical advice, even if it seems like I am. I am not. I'm just consolidating medical information, putting it all in one place along with my opinion. So Aaron here, who I'm not giving medical advice to, I'm just consolidating stuff that already is well known, and instead of him going on the internet, it speaks through me because I've already read it all. So it's in my brain. And Aaron, why don't you stand back a little further so they can see you good. So Aaron has theoretically just done a 10 or 12 week steroid cycle. And have you started on your tamoxifen yet, or what are you doing?
You know, there's just so much about all these different steroids and the chemicals I don't really remember and know exactly what they do. But maybe tell me which ones I should start on first, and like with how much and whatnot.
So it's really up to you. It's a matter of how much drugs you want to take versus how fast you want to bounce back. But so like so I'll tell you the things, but you could always take less of them, or you could take more of them. But a safe, so how long were you on your stuff?
So probably about 12 weeks.
12 weeks, that's a solid cycle, that's a full-length cycle, so you've already stopped?
Yeah, I already stopped, and now it's just, what am I going to do for the rebound?
So if you hadn't already stopped, you could have taken some HCG for the last few weeks, but since he has already stopped, that would be counterproductive because his body's already starting to send the luteinizing hormone signal, and if we introduce the HCG, it would stop sending that, even though the testicles would turn on, but counterproductive because you already started to get the luteinizing hormone signal back. So because of that, it's better just to, not medical advice, go with tamoxifen or clomiphene or raloxifene, and at the same time take an aromatase inhibitor. A certain over-the-counter supplement I won't mention happens to have one in it, but the well-known ones are like anastrozole and the exemestane. So perhaps you could go with like 40 milligrams of tamoxifen for a week or two, along with your milligram of anastrozole every other day. Then cut it down to like 20 milligrams of tamoxifen while keeping on the anastrozole. But the tamoxifen, I think he may have tried it theoretically before, and it made him feel kind of like garbage, didn't it?
Yeah, this stuff kind of just put me a little bit under the weather. Didn't have the same amount of energy.
Okay,
why is that?
Well, it blocks the estrogen from binding to your brain, so it makes you feel pretty funky. And we think of estrogen as a female hormone, but it's really important for guys too. So when you block it from binding, you get weirdly emotional. Like you'd think maybe more estrogen would make you feel weird, but too little also does.
Not just the hormones being out of balance then, I guess.
Yeah, it is important. And just having it in your body is important for your heart and cardiovascular health, for your bone health, for your brain health, everything.
And what else should be taken? And if I was to do things differently, what would you recommend? So
if you're really against taking the tamoxifen, maybe take it for like 5 days just to get a really strong signal, negative feedback. So it's blocking the estrogen from binding, so your brain wants to produce more testosterone to turn into estrogen. So possibly you could get away with a very short duration of that, or just don't use it at all and go with the anastrozole. The anastrozole just prevents the testosterone from turning into estrogen, but it doesn't prevent it from binding like in your brain.
Okay, so it wouldn't have the same kind of effect for health-wise.
So actually it's going to physically decrease the estrogen, so you'll be low in estrogen, so that's worse for your bones and worse for your cardiovascular system. But that's why your body's going to start producing more testosterone to replace that estrogen, so that will be a temporary thing.
And like how long is temporary?
It really depends on the person, but a matter of weeks. If you're unlucky, a matter of months. If you're lucky, a matter of days, like 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, but it's all individual. Just depends on You or him or me?
Just whoever it is. Everyone reacts differently.
So yeah, if you want to maybe go with like 5 days of strong dose of tamoxifen, like 40 milligrams, while taking the anastrozole, and then after the tamoxifen, just continue with the anastrozole until sexual functions seem about normal. They may not feel completely normal because you will have a little low estrogen. And estrogen, once again, is important in guys too for proper sexual function. Without it, you'll lose your sensation, your orgasm, and eventually your sexual interest if it's too low.
So you can lose your libido and any sort of sexual drive.
Yeah. So once that starts to come back up, you know that your testosterone has come back up, because if your testosterone hadn't come back up, your estrogen wouldn't have come back up. So once that's all good, it means that you most likely can discontinue it. Your estrogen will go up a little bit, testosterone will go down a little bit, but now you'll be at healthy, normal level.
And things will just kind of re-hit equilibrium.
Yeah, like you get almost to equilibrium with the anastrozole, but like the important thing is your testicles are now functioning. So then you discontinue it and you get exactly the equilibrium.
Oh, that's excellent.
But ultimately, you never really know unless you got blood work done before your cycle, and then you get it done again after your cycle.
And what would the blood work do?
So, you know, I've been talking about the luteinizing hormone. It tells the testicles to turn on.
Right.
So you get blood work like for your luteinizing hormone, for your testosterone, for your estrogen, for your free testosterone, for your sex hormone binding globulin. For the sake of this video and for talking to you about it, it's not really important what they all do. The important part is you know how you are supposed to be, and then you make sure that you bounce back to that same level after your cycle.
Oh, and if I didn't get blood work done, and how would I know? And could that be like a permanent or a bad thing?
Yeah, that's a very bad thing, because it means you'll never in your entire life know how your body was supposed to be before you screwed everything up. Because when you take steroids, you're screwing everything up temporarily. So that's when it comes back to basing it on your sexual function, because it may not be exactly where it was before, but at least it's at a good, healthy level. And you could also get your cholesterol tested to make sure that everything is at a proper level so that you have good cholesterol. But you'll never truly know what it would have been before you took stuff.
And how long would it be before, if I got blood work, it would come about normal?
Well, that's the thing. It depends on the person. Probably it's somewhat safe to say that about 3 months after your cycle, if it was just like a moderate 12-week cycle, it should be pretty much normal, but maybe 4 months. I mean, a year later, we'd better hope it'd be normal, but if you're 60, 70 years old and you did a cycle, a year later, you may never bounce back to 2 years later, you may never bounce back to normal. But as a young person, you may bounce back to normal in like 1 week. It's not likely, but you may.
Nice.
Is that all?
It's everything I can think of at the moment.
So I hope you guys like this video and it helps you make good informed decisions. And you can hire me for training advice. He hired me for training advice.
It's good advice. Highly recommend.
The only reason, only reason it didn't work is because he stopped working out. But he's gonna follow through with it next time and you'll see great results.
That's right.
So that's the key, just follow through with it and you see great results.
Yes, it is important to be persistent in following the plan.
But you made pretty good progress, but could have made more.
The tendinitis is gone, and that was the main thing.
Oh yes, and I'm about to release a book on how to treat tendinitis.
And it was very effective, you know, no doctor could figure it out after 5 years.
Yep, it's a shame. But what matters now is it's gone.
There's a world of difference in my quality of well-being.
And you can sleep now because your shoulder doesn't hurt and play the drums.
Do the hobbies I enjoyed, everything that I did enjoy beforehand.
That's That's the key. Get back to enjoying your life and save time and money not going to the doctors. Not that I'm saying not to go to doctors, because I can't say that. Check out my other videos. Check out my Instagram, natural_true_fitness. Remember, you can hire me for training advice, diet advice, supplement advice. You cannot hire me for medical advice because that would be illegal. But you can hire me to consolidate medical information, put it all in one place along with my opinion.